Healing Guides Part 24. So I'm going to talk about this other times too, but just wanted to give a little explanation as to what's happening if you are someone who's demonically possessed. I mean, you should know. Some people like to act like they don't know, but you do know. But just so you know, if you're actually demonically possessed, I'll give you some of the symptoms that what happened to you. Because demons are not always going to like show themselves to you and be like, they're possessing you. You're just going to see behaviors in yourself, obviously. So I'll give a little bit of that. There's obviously a lot more, as well as then what you should do if you're demonically possessed that, would actually get that demon out. So obviously, common sense, if a different creation of God Almighty has the power to actually enter your body and possess you, what is the first thing you're going to lose? Your free will. So you can't control yourself. The evil spirit is able to speak through your lips. It can make you mute as it wants as well. It can just make you not talk because it obviously is going to use your mouth to speak. And two, it's going to give you like a new identity or sort of personality. Multiple personalities might come out of you. It's just going to introduce like this sort of new person or new personality. Your facial, your face, your eyes, even your body, drastic weight loss. You might constantly, shave your head and then it grows, and you're constantly going to have changes to your body. You're not going to look the same anymore. You're not going to have the same style of clothing and the way that you used to be. The things you watch, the things you read, the people you associate with is going to change. It's going to push you to go and be around evil human beings even more. It will cause you problems with your job. It might possess you and bring out bad behaviors out of you. You might lose your job because of that. And now it'll use that sort of poverty against you, where it's going to push you to live with people, like fake friends. Like they'll act like a roommate, but it's actually humans that demons are using against you, who are just gonna make things even worse for you. They're possessed too. Another sign is that you have like a different voice. You might have different voices come out of you. If the demon wants to turn you into a homosexual or whatever, it'll constantly speak like the opposite gender. So if you're a male, you're gonna constantly have that voice of the demon come out of you that's talking like a female, okay? It might use its own sort of supernatural knowledge as a spirit, you know, to somehow bring that out of you. You might start to understand things that a regular human may not. You're not gonna have like knowledge or big things like that. It's just you just might be able to understand certain things. You might be able to see human beings around you, the type of people they are. Like if they're of God or if they're the devil, you're gonna know. Their presence are gonna be more obvious to you. You're gonna see their light, and the others you're gonna see their darkness. Suicidal tendencies, that's another one too. So huge depression, huge anxiety, emotions that are just very low, emotions that would get someone to kill himself. That is what they're going to project to you. Not only are they possessing you, you're naturally going to feel bad, but it's going to project that to you. If demons, without possessing someone, can push them to suicide by constantly saying negative thoughts to them, imagine if they're possessing you. Their presence is even bigger. What they say is even louder in your ears, in your head. So it'll try to get you to kill yourself a lot. Another one is you'll be angry, or your behavior will come out where you're just pissed off or extremely in a state of rage. If you hear anything about God or morality, because it hates that. It's not you, it's the demon that hates that, because that is what you need. So jinn or demons, they're the ones acting out, violent and angry, and they're gonna attack whoever tries to help you or guide you to God. So there's gonna be this sort of anger, this sort of, it doesn't always mean the person will speak, the demon will speak out of you and say anything, but there's just gonna be this sort of hatred, this deep hatred that you're gonna feel inside your body coming out. Obviously that's the demon feeling that, not you. But this huge hatred as well as anger when you see things of religion, like maybe a church or a mosque, or you hear about God, or you see someone who's really righteous, or you see someone who's good character, etc. Those people are going to repel you. God is going to repel you. Religion is going to repel you. Morality is going to repel you. It's not you, it's the evil spirit, okay? It's projecting that to you. Obviously, you're corrupt to some degree. That's why it possessed you. Obviously, it's your fault. You went down a path of evil, obviously, but still, human beings usually don't always feel that way towards God and religion. So that's the demon. That's how you know it's possessing you, okay? And it's the one feeling that way. Anytime something you personally don't hate, but you just feel that hatred is coming over you, that's the demon. Maybe you love someone and you would never hurt them, but oh, you're saying horrible things to them, or maybe you're getting thoughts to hit them or whatever, to be violent. Okay, that's the demon. You get me? Because you personally wouldn't hate this person, and maybe you personally are not a violent person. Okay, but you're gonna feel it. This sort of tendency coming over you, just like suicidal, constantly trying to push you to become a violent person. And if you're a man, you know what that means. It's gonna try to push you to do domestic abuse, maybe to a female or to children, to your male friends, to your siblings, your parents. It's gonna try to use your strength against you in that way. Um, the other one, this is really important one and explains a lot, especially when you knew someone for so long and all of a sudden they are acting this way. And this is foul language. A lot of perverted, filthy, disgusting, inappropriate words. You can't even have a conversation with this person without them cursing, saying filthy words out of their mouth. And it's usually perversion and sexist statements, because that's really what demons are. If you ask me what is the first quality of a demonic spirit, it's perverted and sexist. The other stuff is like next. But this is really their first evil that they picked. There's a lot of different types of evil you could do, but they like this one because it's the highest. That simple. It's because it's the highest evil in the world. It's filthy. A pervert dishonors, violates, harms, tortures the human body. It disrupts the love between a male and a female. It disrupts the love between parents and children. It disrupts the love between family, everything. It destroys everything, right? Because they bring rape into things. They bring molestation into things. They harm the body, the private parts, the honor of the human being. It's his body. That's what they're harming and violating. Okay, that's the most evil thing a human being could do, rape or molestation. So demons like that. They're going to project that to you. They're going to try to teach you that. They're going to constantly push these tendencies to you to watch porn. And then they're going to push you away from just the regular male-female stuff. And they're going to push you to the ones that are involving homosexual behaviors, like the oral stuff they do. Oral is not between male and female. That's something homosexuals do. They introduce that into male-female sexual conduct. Sadly, a lot of non-Muslims do that, so it's very disturbing for me since I'm a Muslim. But yeah, demons distorted just the normal sexual conduct between male and female who are not related to each other. They added homosexual conduct into it. So oral sex is homosexual behavior. Therefore, you better stop doing that stuff if you're doing that. Two, just abuse, like hitting each other, spitting on each other, peeing on each other, all these filthy things. They're introducing that between male and female, therefore dishonoring the love, the mercy, the honor, the cleanliness, and the purity that's supposed to be there between these two genders when they are opposites who are not related and they are being intimate. They dishonored and destroyed that. So they just brought filth into it. They brought perversion into it. They brought dishonor into it. If a human being was walking and someone peed on them, what would they think? They'd get a knife and try to kill that person, right? That would be the most filthiest thing you can do. I mean, one of the most filthiest things you could do. Okay, how are two people who say they like each other or love each other, why would they do that to each other? Come on. Okay, so those human beings are obviously demonically possessed. No one can do perversion unless they're possessed, period. If people like perversion, if they like sexism, I don't care if they say their religion says it, well, you are possessed. If they're okay with it, they like it, they want to do it, they have this sort of desire to dominate the other gender, like the males who are hyper, sexist to females, even if they like use scripture. Well, scripture is corrupted. Who cares? You know what's healthy, you know what's normal. This gender is not less than you. Therefore, those tendencies come from you being possessed. It comes from you first before you got possessed, being perverted and sexist. Okay, that's how they possessed you. So, demons like perversion, they like sexism, okay? Because when God created the human race, He didn't create everyone, nor did He create a lot of them, nor did He create a man, a wife, a husband, a wife, and children. He didn't do that. He just created the male and the female. There were no kids, right? You guys don't get it. God did that for a reason. He's trying to show you that the most important thing is the husband and the wife. Children is just a choice. It's just a blessing. You don't have to have them. They're not important. But humans are obsessed with them because some evil group over there is trying to always shame you if you don't have them, as if it's a requirement. But God, He just created the male and the female, the adults, to just love each other and honor each other who are not related to each other. When I say who are not related, I'm talking about, blood related and extended, like cousins or whatever. But just a regular, normal, strangers to each other, male and female, who find each other attractive or love each other, etc. Okay, that love between them is the most powerful, and that's the most important love in the world that God created, the romantic one. Okay, so that's the way to destroy the human race, if you want to go after this creation. So demons introduce what? In order to turn males and females who are supposed to be romantic, in order to turn them against each other, what did they introduce? As well as just male and female overall. Perversion, sexism, okay? So that's why this perversion and sexism is so rampant in society. It's in the movies, it's in porn, it's in your face. People are half naked all the time. Now they're introducing unnatural things, unnatural perversions like homosexuality and incest and raping children and calling that sexual, and they get on my nerves. And now harming and raping animals with bestiality, all this filth, incest, and all that crap. Okay, that is the way to just destroy Adam and Eve, the two human beings God created first. He didn't give them children. He let them love each other for a long time before human beings were, coming out as children. You get me? So that love between a spouse, a male and a female, a husband and wife, that's the most important love in God's eyes. Okay, that's the foundation of everything. Who cares if you have kids or not? It's a nice thing, but you don't need that. But the male and the female need to honor each other, love each other, respect each other, and those just overall in the human race, the male and the female need to always be this sort of gender, right? That's opposite of you, that is always gonna honor you and treat you with respect. Okay, so he destroyed that. The devil destroyed that. They hate each other and abuse each other every day. Females more like the manipulative way and psychologically torturous way, and they use witchcraft to usually abuse males and others. The male just uses the violence usually. So yeah. So other symptoms that you're demonically possessed, this sort of tendency to go towards things like drugs. Demons need you to do drugs, okay? That's actually how some people, they just possess them. The moment they try drugs, boom. You get me? And of course, it depends what you're doing, but obviously, you're committing a sin, you're harming yourself. A healthy, good person would never self-harm themselves with drugs. So things like drugs, alcohol, what's the other one? Smoking. Those are all evil things, okay? Those are not just things that are bad for your health, like eating too much. No, those are evil things, okay? Only the evil side introduces that. Good doesn't ever introduce that. It's not just something that's just damaging to the health. No, it's actually evil. You get me? It's actually an evil thing. Okay, so humans just lost the spiritual understanding of it, and they only see the sort of the physical health part of it. Therefore, they think it's bad because, you get me, it's bad for your health. No, it's actually spiritual. This stuff is stuff that demons came up with. I mean, again, God created evil. They didn't, create it. I just mean they came up with it, as in they introduced it to the human being. They introduced it because they need that in order to possess you, okay? What it does is it makes your mind weak. So one thing demons need in order to possess you is your mind to be weak. Okay? The strength of a human being is his mind. They need your mind to be weak. How does your mind become weak? One, you adapt evil type of heart. Your heart is just evil, okay? You're an evil person. You're not a good person. You're filled with hatred and envy. If you've been listening to my healing guys, I told you what creates an evil heart. One is envy. That's it. And then it leads to hatred. Okay? That's why the males who are perverted are actually envious of the female gender. You get me? That's why they hate them so much. It's actually envy. And you'd be like, what are they jealous of? That's my point. What are they jealous of? The female obviously goes through a lot more difficulties in this life, such as pregnancy. But for some reason, they're jealous of her, okay? Because obviously she has blessings. She has things that obviously you would say are good about her. And he has things that are obviously good about him. They're opposites. They have their own blessings. They're not supposed to compare each other like that. They're just supposed to treat each other equally as human beings. Okay, but that's how evil gets created. He makes one gender look at the other, creates something to be envious of, then that leads to hatred. Then he tells them to go harm them. Okay? So envy, okay, hatred leads to hatred. Hatred leads to a desire to do bad things to them, whether it's physical, emotional, psychological, doesn't matter. You're evil, okay? Since that's the evil heart, you got possessed, okay? It's easy to possess you then. You just need to have a bad heart. That person may have, never done a specific type of bad, sin like drugs or alcohol or committing sexual acts before marriage. Or they don't have to do those things that people think you get possessed for necessarily. If you're just a bad person, if your heart is just filled with hatred, okay, demons have the legal right from God to possess you, okay? Because, okay, what that does is it makes your mind weak as well. Are you guys going to say a healthy, loving person has the same type of mental strength as a hateful, envious, evil human being? No, that person's mind is weak. That's why they're also illogical. They're dumb as hell. They're coming from evil, obviously. So they're obviously illogical. Evil is not logical. So that type of mentality also makes them filled with what emotions? Hatred, envy, jealousy, anger, the bad type of anger, the one that makes you kill people. It's just all these bad emotions now. The demon will push to you the other ones. Depression, anxiety, suicide, okay. All that stuff makes what? It makes your mind even weaker. You already had a weak mind and heart because you had envy and hatred. So like just a bad heart, which obviously means your mind was filled with the envy and the hatred. So your mind is weak. So, and now when they possess you or before they possess you, they need it. They can sometimes just push you or just possess you and then push you to these emotions of depression, anxiety, worry, doubt, low self-esteem, and needing others to validate you. If someone rejects you, if people leave you, if someone doesn't want you romantically, if you don't have friends, you act like they're God or something. You just want to just go do bad things to yourself. Drugs, alcohol, clubbing. Why are you doing that? Who can? Anyways, you're weak. You see what I'm saying? You're weak. You don't have the quality of self-honor or self-love to just simply honor yourself, treat yourself well, wake up every day, do the best you can, and find good people that you can have a relationship with. Instead, those people just break you, okay? So your mind is weak. Because if you think like that, are you being logical? No, okay, so your mind is weak. You get me? Because your mind will help you to think logically, help you to get out of that difficult situation, help you to be strong, help you to honor yourself, help you to not see others as your reflection. You see yourself as your reflection. You don't need validation from outside. You see yourself as the one that can validate themselves. And if you ever need any sort of being, you need God. Other than God, you don't need anyone else. You can just love others a lot or less, but you don't need them in the sense of, you get me? You don't need them like a God. That if they somehow reject you, you're dead. Okay, that's not logical. Because when you were created, you didn't need them in order to be created. You weren't living this life with them guiding you all the time. They came into existence. They came into your life at a certain point. Okay, so you don't need them. Do you see what I mean by need? I don't mean you don't love them. I mean you don't need them as in like food. If you don't eat, you're going to die, right? Like that. You don't need them. You're not going to die. You see what I'm saying? But demons need you to be attached to human beings as if they're some sort of God. They need you to feel like you can't live without them. Okay? the unhealthy way, okay? Not the sweet romantic way that we can't live without others we love. That's a wonderful thing. I'm talking about the unhealthy way, okay? Where you're treating them like they're God or something. Okay, so they need that. Why? Because that creates idolatry, that sort of worship of a person. Now that it's easy to push you to then sort of replace them with a bad human in your life. They'll bring you an evil human. They'll replace them with somehow these ones that you loved or wanted. Okay, and now they can use these humans to trap you and turn you into more evil and possess you even longer. You see what I mean? Because you're just seeking validation from others and not yourself. Therefore, it's easy for demons to introduce evil humans into your life that either cause the possession because they taught you to do bad things, or they just make it even worse for you. You become even more evil because you already are someone that's attached to human beings in an unhealthy way. You get me? You're not seeking companionship. You're not seeking love. You're not seeking friendship. You're not seeking, people who are there for you to support you. You're seeking someone to like complete you, like you're cut in half. You get me? That's what I mean by validation. Like you're cut in half and the other half is missing, like that. You're a whole person. Things like soulmates and twin flames, those are all demonic. Don't believe in that. Don't follow that. Especially the one that they always say is the runner. That's a demonically possessed human being. They're narcissists. They're hypersexual. They're promiscuous. They fool around. They don't love you, but you're obsessed with them because you're the good person usually. You're not possessed. Demons send you those types of human beings to the opposite gender to trap you, okay? And to be sexual with them so maybe they can try to possess you. Don't go there. We're human beings. People love at different levels. Some people can love more than others. But you just need love. That's it. You don't need to be completed. You're complete already. And if you love someone, go tell them and find them. Goodness. Stop mopping in your bed every day, being miserable. Those are the emotions they need you to be stuck in, these evil spirits. They'll come to your mind. They'll tell you to drink it away. They'll tell you to drug it away. They'll tell you to go to clubs and bars. They'll tell you to do all these horrible things, which doesn't even... See, I told you it's not logical. Didn't I tell you your mind being weak is you being illogical? Okay, what does you doing drugs and alcohol and smoking have to do with that person who left you? What do they have to do with each other? If you lost a job, what are you going to do? Either try to look for that job again or get another one, right? Okay, so that doesn't make sense. Why are you hurting yourself? Why are you absorbing things into your body to somehow fill a void that needs a human? Why don't you go look for that human that you want so much? That opposite gender you want romantically. Why don't you go look for them? Why are you here drugging yourself? I don't understand. You see what I'm saying? I obviously do understand. I'm just trying to reason with you. So you see what I'm saying? Your mind is weak. It can't think logically. They can tell you do ABC. You're just going to say, okay. You see what I'm saying? Because your mind is weak. How did your mind get so weak? You're filled with bad, evil heart, okay? They can't possess someone who's obviously just human and just heartbroken and sad and depressed. No, you're human. That's your good emotions, okay? That means you're a loving person. You have a heart. You love someone. Great. You lost a job. You have a heart. You feel like you want to appreciate it. Wonderful. You're going to be a great employee. But in order for them to possess you, they need a hatred to be there. They need envy to be there. Get those emotions out of your heart. Not your mind. Your heart is in your heart. The heart is what makes us good or bad. Okay, once you get it out of your heart, then it gets out of your mind. See what I'm saying? And the way you get it out of your heart is by going to your mind, where the demon first came to and sort of, it made it seem like it's rational to be hateful and envious. You get me? They rationalized it for you. Cut that cord off. You're a logical species. Whoever you are that's listening to me, cut the envy and hatred out of your mind. See that obviously you're being evil right now. Disagree with it. Just disagree. Disagree to think like that, to feel that way, to judge people from that perspective. You don't hate anyone. You don't feel envious of anyone. You only hate bad conduct and technically evil humans. But you don't feel the bad type of hatred. The one where you want to harm others, where you wish bad for them. You don't have that evil type of hatred. Once you get rid of that one, once you get rid of the bad type of envy, instead of being happy for others, you actually feel envious and irritated and pissed off they have something maybe you wanted. Okay, get that stuff out of your mind, and then it will get out of your heart. Get it out of your heart. Okay, now they don't have what they needed in order to possess you. You see, you're gonna now have more strength over your mind, your body, your conscience, and now you can easily come back to God and repent and ask Him for help, and you'll find the right people to help you do what we call exorcism or deliverance, and they'll get the demon out of your body. You can even do it to yourself. Okay, you can watch online videos on how to do self-deliverance. As Muslims, we call it, just ruqya. But the other stuff I was going to tell you that causes demonic possession, I'll tell you. One is you don't have memory of certain situations. Maybe someone calls you and they're like, hey, you did this or you said this, and you're like, what? What happens is when demons take your body to do something, right? Let's say they're talking to a loved one, whether they're friend or etc. Basically, they knock you out in order to use your body that moment. They might cuss that person out, say hurtful things to that person, even be violent to them. They knock you out. You get me? In order to do that. Obviously, you agreed to it. So there's no victim here, okay? God is not going to give something the power to use your hands, beat up your loved one, and you're going to go to hell. That's not logical. It's just that you agreed with it, okay? Seek your permission to be hateful, say foul language, filthy things to people, hurt them. You get me? You agreed. When you agreed to that, you're not always going to know the details of what it's going to do sometimes. Sometimes you're kind of shocked a little bit with what it wants to do. You get me? Because you can kind of stretch it a little bit. But you still agree to it. If you disagree with that voice inside your head that is projecting this emotion to you of sort of like violence, you get me? Whether it's verbal, physiological, psychological, or physical, it's projecting a feeling of wanting to be violent to this person, okay? Just wanting to hurt them. You disagree with that. You're like, hell no. Well, where the hell did that emotion come from? Okay, it can't use you. You see what I'm saying? It's like something that's not possessing you, but right next to you, that is constantly seeking your permission. If you say sure, it's like it grabs your hand and hits someone with it. You get me? Like that. It needs your permission. So if it got your permission, right, you agree with it, and it's usually a quick process because it's inside your head. You're not going to always see the demon saying, hey, can I use you? It's actually just the thoughts you think are your thoughts, okay? That's what I'm saying. You need to fight those thoughts inside your head. They're not your thoughts. Because you're thinking you're going to see the demon and actually look at them and say no to them. No, it's just the thoughts. You get me? They're just going to ask you mentally, hey, I want to hit this person, or I want to beat you. You're going to hear the word I. They're not going to say, me, the demon wants to hit this person. Can I use you to hit them? Can I use you to cuss them out? They're not going to say that. They're just going to say I. They're going to use the I statement as if it's you. You get me? Because they want you to actually think you're the one who's violent and speaking filthy words. They want you to think this is who you are. The things they're doing and the things they're saying. So they're going to say, I hate you inside your head. And you're going to think, oh, that's my thought. You get me? And if you agree with that thought now, that I hate you, with this person that you don't hate, now they can use you to hit them or something. You get me? Because they can just project violence to you, and the emotion of violence when it's coming over you, you're not fighting with it. You're not saying, no, okay, you're going to be violent. You see what I'm saying? Because it coming over you, it's like it asking you for permission to come out. Okay. So you're going to black out. There's going to be a lot of moments in your life that you're not going to remember what you did. You're not going to remember the interactions you had with your friends or family or strangers. You're just not going to remember. The other signs that you're demonically possessed, again, the demon is going to try to get you to do things out of character, and it relies on those emotions of arrogance. So like ego, you get the bad type of ego. It's going to project emotions to you, feelings to you, thoughts to you that are just from the bad ego, okay? Like, I hate you, I hate this person doesn't deserve this, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to listen to this person. I'm not going to talk to this person that was my friend for years. Those types of feelings and thoughts, this sort of rejection to people, this sort of hatred to them, this sort of envy to them, this sort of unhappiness with what they have. You see, it's all about people. You get what I'm saying? Because demons just want to harm human beings. I don't see why they want to harm a tree. Okay, so everything that you're going to start to have as thoughts, emotions, energy. It's always going to be about this sort of bad type of way of treating human beings, okay? Just emotions, thoughts that are just rejecting being kind to others, being compassionate to others, being respectful to others. It's going to just teach you to walk away from someone, ignore someone, be mean to someone, disrespect someone, cut off someone. You get me? That's how you know you're possessed. You're going to just be this mean person, okay? And then when you're drunk and you take drugs, you weaken your mind. Your mind is weak. Obviously, whoever does this, you would agree with me. You hallucinate and see weird things, and you freak out, and you see weird visions, and you see dark things, and you are literally out of character. Maybe if someone recorded you in that situation, you're going to be like, who is that? You're not going to be like, that's me, right? You're just weird because it took over your body and is literally fooling around with it. How do you feel? Okay? You're supposed to feel angry with that so that you don't allow it to continue. So when your mind is weak like that, then it can control the person. It can control you. It can get you to do what it wants. It's going to tell you to do something, you're going to do it. Because you're already filled with emotions, right, that would agree with what I just asked you to do. You're already a hateful, mean person. If it tells you to cuss out this person, you're not going to necessarily always know it's a demon telling you that, but you're going to agree with that, right? Okay, so now that you agree with it, it's going to take over your lips and it's going to cuss out that person. You see what I'm saying? And you're kind of a little bit absent. You're kind of a little bit dead. You're kind of a little bit knocked out. You kind of know a little bit what's going on sometimes when the behaviors are sort of mild, right? Like you saying bad things to people. But if it's trying to get you to do something really horrible, like kill someone, beat up someone, once it gets your agreement, it will knock you out. You're just like an unconscious dead person. It took over the body. It's the one stabbing this person, killing this person. When it gets out of you, you come back to conscience, you're going to freak out. You just killed your family member. You just killed your wife. You just killed your kid. Do you see what I'm saying? You agree with the emotion, though. You agree with the evil thought saying, I want to choke them, I want to kill them, I want to stab them. It's obviously you. You're evil as hell. But it doesn't need you to be there, okay? It will do the killing, okay? It's just using your body. Obviously, that doesn't mean you didn't do it. You did do it, okay? You agreed with it. It doesn't matter how it took control. That's why these horrible things happen. These crimes like lying, stealing, perverted sexual behaviors, I meant perverted behaviors or sexual behaviors. Perverted is not sexual. Perverted behaviors or sexual conduct. Self-abuse. You might cut yourself and you're like, wait a minute, I don't remember cutting myself. There you go, it cut you. You just agree with the thought of wanting to cut yourself. You're different than someone who's not possessed. You get me? That person might be weak, they might be depressed or whatever when they get a thought saying, I want to die, I want to kill myself, I want to cut myself. For them, it doesn't mean anything. They're conscious. They're present. They're not going to actually cut themselves. You get me? A demon is not going to just enter them and cut their hand off. You're different. You're evil. Your heart is evil. So, okay, it has the right to possess you legally in God's perspective. Now, if you get a thought, I want to cut myself, you actually will cut yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? Versus someone who's not with an evil heart. Okay, demons can project bad things to them too. But it can't make them do it. They have the free will that you would agree a human has to just be like, why would I cut myself? Okay, but you're different. It just needs you to feel the emotion of, yeah, I do want to kill myself or cut myself. Then it will cut you. It will knock you out and cut you. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's so disturbing. If you start having problems with your memory, you start being diagnosed with certain mental illnesses, even things like schizophrenia, ADHD, all that stuff, it's just demonic possession. They're torturing your mind. They're the ones causing your mental problems. And you're going to see usually a correlation. Those human beings use drugs. Do you agree almost all mentally ill people use drugs? Okay, there you go. That's why their mind is the problem. That's why their mind is not healthy, you see? Because they already are possessed. Their mind was already weak, but it was weak in the sense of evil, like I said. But now it's going to be weak in the sense of health. Because they'll make you do drugs, and that's obviously hurting your mind. You see what I'm saying? You're actually hurting the mind, just like you could hurt the body. Okay, so they don't just need your mind to be evil to possess you. They need to have more power over you, because what if you become good and just, they exit? You see what I mean? So they try to get you to do things that would just make you even weaker mentally. And now it's even 10 times harder for you to even come back and regain control over yourself. Because those things like drugs, alcohol, smoking means demons are the ones using your body. So if you don't like what I just said, okay. That's all you need to come back. You just need to hate this stuff. You need to hate these demons. You need to hate evil. You need to hate being that type of person that hurts those you love. You need to hate being this type of out of character person. You just need to hate evil. Just like good people hate evil and demons can't possess them. You just need to hate evil. You need to hate it to the core. Where does that hate come in? Your heart and your mind. Do you agree? Okay, now the demon lost control over you. Okay, it might still be there because people need to deliver you from it. They need to do ruqya or exorcism. But at least the thing cannot use you anymore because it needed you to agree with the hateful, evil, suggestions. Can I use you to hit this person? Can I use you to cuss out this person? Can I use you to sabotage this person's job? Can I use, you see what I mean? I can't use you anymore. I can't make you do bad things anymore because you don't like bad things anymore. I'm telling you the symptoms because demons don't like human beings to know that they're possessing them. I know that's disturbing. You would be like, why isn't it so easy to know they possessed you, right? I know. Some people can feel it. Maybe someone didn't. But that's what I'm saying. This spiritual stuff is so frustrating. You'll sometimes get pissed off with God himself. But don't waste your energy on that because that's not going to solve your problem. Just let it go and just try to be what you need to be in order to protect yourself. So demons don't want you to know that they are possessing you. Okay, they don't. Therefore, they're going to stay quiet usually when they first possess you. They're inspiring you. They're, pushing you to do certain things. They're trying to change you slowly. And you're just going to think it's you who's becoming evil. You get me? Obviously, yeah, you are becoming evil, but you get me? You're going to think those are your thoughts, is what I'm saying. So you're just going to go with it. You don't think something is also there. You don't think you have a second problem. You get me? You're just going to think your character went bad, but you're not going to think something's there too. You get me? It doesn't want you to know because obviously you're going to try to seek help. And people are going to be like, the only way we can get that out of you is if you're a good person. Because it has the legal right to be there. Spiritual legal right. If you want it to be there. You get me? So that's why usually if I see a demonically possessed human right now, I can't just do exorcism for them. I can't just command the demon to come out. It won't come out because the human doesn't want it to come out. The human doesn't agree with that. You get me? The human needs to want the demon to come out of their body. So rule number 1, you need to stop being evil. Change your heart and mind. 2, you need to want to be delivered, or you need to want to have demons come out of you. You need to hate the fact that they're possessing you. You might be like, who would ever want that? Some humans actually don't mind. Because they're evil, they don't mind the fact that something filthy is for controlling them and possessing their body. You get me? They're evil. That's what evil means, okay? They like bad things. There's really not much to explain. So, okay, you need to become someone who hates evil. You see what I'm saying? That's why I said you need to hate evil as a rule number 1. Or solution number 1. I didn't say you need to want demons to come out of your body is number 1. I didn't say that. Because who cares if you want them out of your body? The reason they entered your body is still there, right? You're still an evil person. They won't come out. 2, that's not even as important as you being an evil person. Because, okay, they got out of your body. It's creepy. It's filthy. Of course, you would, as a human being, first want that stuff out of you. I get it. But then you're evil, too. You can still do what it was going to push you to do anyway. You're still the same bad person. You can join a religion, but you're still the same bad person. You see, nothing changed. You need to become a good person. You need to change your heart and your mind. Then you need to want that filthy thing simultaneously. I don't have to put it as number 2 to make you feel uncomfortable. No. Also, we can say it too. I can say it together. And then you also will need to want, right? Let's say this is step 1. You need to become, and you need to want to become, you need to want to desire to be a good person, a good heart, a good mind. and then actually change your heart and mind to good. And also want the demon to come out of your body. Let's say that's step one, okay? Step two, you need to fight with it as you go and try to find people to get that evil stuff out of you, or you do deliverance to yourself. Usually, obviously, fight with you, it can knock you out. Um, when I do ruqya, which is me reciting the holy scripture in my religion, Islam, to anyone I see who's possessed, who the demon is using that moment to harass me, to approach me, they make people act crazy, irrational, they try to act violent, etc. For my protection, when I read anything on them, they become sleepy. Okay, the demon is doing that because it's like trying to knock that person out. It's trying to get them to be unconscious so that then the human doesn't actually get the help they need. You see, what they're going to do is, as that person is sleeping, they're going to send them nightmares. They're going to send them dreams. In those dreams, they need that human to agree with those dreams. You get me? Because you can get a dream, wake up and be like, ew, that's so filthy. You can disagree with it. Or you can agree with it on a unconscious or mental level. Okay, and the dream is always going to be there. You see what I'm saying? You might engage with it mentally too, even in the dream. Good people can have filthy dreams come to them, obviously. Demons are sending that to you, or sleep paralysis. So don't be like, what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. Okay, agreement is when you're conscious. Therefore, it affects it when you're sleeping. They will lose the power to actually do that stuff, do that dream. Okay? The character that they're creating inside the dream is not you. It's them. They're using magic to look like you. That character is actually going to start fighting against the demon. You see what I'm saying? Even though that's a demon. Because your subconscious, your unconscious mind that's sleeping, you get me? It's healthy. It personally, in the physical world, would do behavior ABC to fight against that if it was real. So it's going to transfer to your unconscious mind when you're sleeping. It's going to just make that character fight it. You get me? That character is not going to do anything necessarily sometimes. But your mind is going to fight with it. And then the dream will end. You see what I mean? So our mind is everything. You see why they whisper to the mind? Why they talk to your mind? Why everything is in the head? Okay, because your mind is your identity. How you think is who you are. If you like evil, you're going to first like it in your mind. You get me? Not your heart. When it agrees to that, then it enters the heart. Okay? So you need to change your thinking. You need to change how your mind thinks, how your mind operates. You need to go against being sexist to females or males, whichever gender you are, your opposite, as well as being sexist to your own gender. You don't have to look at religions and cultures and society, because all of them have that bit of sexism and perversion. All of them have that bit of craziness. So you're not supposed to use them as your compass. You're supposed to use your conscience. Your conscience is always good. He doesn't like mistreating anyone, any group as a bad. Okay, humans can only be evil or doing something evil or bad, like, for example, homosexuals or those who do incest. Okay, but if they change, then do we hate them? Technically, no. You see what I mean? The hate is just because of what they're doing. The hate is because of what they've become. We hate the filthy character they have. So it's a good type of hatred, not the other one where you want harm for them. No, you want peace for them. You want them to come out of that stuff. Okay? So, anyways, the reasons demons need you to agree with them is so they can make it seem like it's you who's actually like that. They want you to think it's your new personality, this sort of weird person you became. That's why they want to blend the personality they're giving you with your actual self. If they come out of you, you get me? They just possess you, knock you out, and then do a bad behavior out of you. Again, they need your permission to do that, but let's say they do that. You get me? People are going to notice it's not you. They don't like that. So they like to stay hidden. They don't manifest. The English word manifest. They don't like to manifest. Like you see someone in the street, in a situation they normally would not act. You expect humans usually to just act decent, right? But when you see irrational behavior, crazy behavior, these people online being recorded every day, acting crazy and childlike, okay, that's not human nature. All human beings as children were taught how to behave. Yes, they can be evil, But we're not talking about someone who's trying to kill someone, okay? We're talking about just someone at a store, someone at a street. That sort of irrational behavior, you see, is the demon. The demon doesn't ever want to manifest and do that. Okay, because people are now going to say there's something wrong with this person. They're going to try to get help or get help for them. So it would rather stay hidden. It would rather not do something that people would say is not that person. It would rather slowly change you, blend with you, and now people actually think it's you. You see what I mean? It needs to change you. So when it manifests, I don't mean the bad behavior. Obviously, it's going to do the bad behavior because those are the symptoms that you know you're possessed. No, I'm talking about a different type of manifestation. The one where demons are acting like demons. You get me? Like they're actually acting like a demon. They're not acting like someone who's bad. Right? Obviously, if they possess you, they're going to obviously use your body, do bad things. I'm not saying they're trying to hide that type of manifestation. Of course, they're going to do that one. People are never going to think it's them, obviously. They're going to think it's you. What I'm saying is they don't like the other type of manifestation, the one where they actually act like a demon, you know? So that people who are religious like me would actually know that. Oh my God, that's a demon. They don't want us to see that. They're going to make the human being, they're going to use their body to do behaviors that just seem like bad behavior. You get me? So you're going to think it's the human who's just toxic. There you go. So you don't actually know their body was overtaken. Because now you would actually not be angry with them to some degree. You try to help them. You get me? You recite a prayer over them, etc. So again, good people, bad people, possessed people, people who are not possessed get filthy bad dreams. But this is another one, okay? This is just one of those things that people who are possessed, if you're possessed, you would have. Constant perverted dreams, okay? And they're gonna use magic to look like you. So they make you think you are in that dream doing incest or bestiality or pedophilia or homosexuality or raping or molesting. You get me? They're gonna try to make it seem like it's you. It's just demons who use magic to look like you, use magic to create another fake image, whether it's an animal, a human, an object. They're the ones doing that weird stuff using magic, okay? Even demons are not even doing it. It's not real, okay? It's magic. If you've ever watched movies where, you know, humans are acting out these characters who know how to do magic, like usually ancient type of empire-like movies, like that. The way the bad guy, the villain, uses magic to look like the good guy, to confuse their family or you know, the female that he would normally be with, like that, to confuse them. He actually killed them or he kidnapped them. You know what I mean? Like that kind of magic. Okay, the demons are doing something like that, but it's fake. Okay, because it's in your head, it's in your dreams. They're not actually in real life doing that. Okay. So they're gonna do that to creep you out. You get me? Because they're gonna use magic to look like you and use magic to look like your family, your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers. And those demons are the ones who look like that, right? Who have that fake image of those humans. They're gonna do weird things in the dream. You see what they want? They want you to think that's you dreaming about those filthy bad things with your family or coworkers or neighbors or yourself or whatever. Okay? So anytime you get a dream where there's a living being in it, animal, human, it's not from God, okay? God doesn't do things like that. We are physically in this world as human beings. We cannot dream about ourselves, okay? Anytime you see something that has a life in it in your dream, okay? Someone actually who has a life in it, human, an animal, is actually in the dream, something that looks like them, demons created that dream, okay? That's why sleep paralysis is fake as well. They're the ones laying down, trying to act like you. They're going to face the direction that you're sleeping in, on your stomach usually. And that demon is actually the one who did magic to look like you. They're the ones who are going to act like they can't move. So they make you think you can't move. But see, in your subconscious mind that's sleeping, what is it going to think? That it's you, right? It's going to think you actually cannot move. So that's why it's going to sort of, on a subconscious level, not physically. Your body's still not moving. But on the subconscious level of you, exactly, you're going to fight. You're going to fight to get up. And you can't do it. Do you know why you can't do it? Because it's not you. It's a demon that made that body. It is the one not moving. Okay, that's why you can't move it. It's a higher level of dreams. Okay, other dreams, when you're using your subconscious, you can actually change what that character is doing in the dream, even though that character is the demon, not you. But in a sleep paralysis, it's usually hard to change it. Usually at the end, you get up. Or sometimes they use this situation where you're actually they created a dream where you're in the environment that you're actually in. One time I had a dream, and I know this stuff, if you guys are wondering, because I personally experienced it. God showed it to me to teach me that these are just fake, okay? That's not real. Demons can't touch you, rape you, molest you, etc. I learned it. So one time I had a dream. I was traveling one time, so I was in a hotel. I had a dream of the exact same room of that hotel, right? The way it actually looks, the bed I'm actually sleeping at, exactly the way it looks, okay? The dream created that type of image. Okay, and then a demon took a body to look like me as if it's me. And in the dream, the demon that made itself look like me, it was fighting with this other demon, get it? Something was trying to physically pull it back from trying to get into this room in the hotel. Okay, so they want me to think that's me. And this dark creature is pulling me back. They want me to think that's me, okay? They want me to think that's real. It's not, okay? So on the subconscious levels, even since I'm sleeping, my subconscious was fighting. You get me? Was fighting with that creature. Okay, so then the dream will end. You get me? The more you fight, the more you get out of the paralysis. You're going to actually get out of that. You get me? The sleep. Because human beings usually just jump out of, their sleep usually, right? They're usually conscious when they're sleeping and having dreams or nightmares. But paralysis, the reason it's so unique is the same thing as a dream, but you just can't get up when you want it. You get me? There's this sort of, it takes longer to get out of it. They're just using more demonic magic powers, okay? To just make it harder for the subconscious to wake you up when it feels uncomfortable. Okay? You can't just jump. You see what I'm saying? They want to therefore make it seem like the reason it was so hard to get up was because it was real. They want you to think that. No, it's just a dream. How many dreams, horrible things are happening, but you wake up after it all ended? You didn't wake up at the middle. You didn't wake up at the beginning. Does that mean you were okay with that stuff? Does that mean you were enjoying those horrible things in the dream? Okay, so don't blame yourself if you can't get up. When they're doing paralysis, sleep paralysis, giving you a dream of something weird attacking you or getting on top of you, don't be like, why didn't I get up? What happened? Is my subconscious weak? There you go. Those are thoughts from demons. That's them in the dream. They just use magic to look like you. It's them who cannot move. It's them who are acting like they cannot move, okay? But they want you to think that was you, not only to make you actually think that that stuff is real, but they want you to actually think what? That you're somehow evil or bad. Why didn't you get up earlier? You know? Maybe the thing was acting like it's raping you. Why didn't you get up earlier? Did you enjoy it? They're going to say filthy thoughts like that to you. You couldn't get up because the evil thing has supernatural power to prevent you from getting up. That's why. It's not your fault. Okay? Your subconscious can only fight as much as it can and then it will get up. But it's going to take, there you go, a couple of seconds before it gets up. Those couple of seconds, if that person, it was 10 and for you it's 2, it doesn't mean the one that took 10 seconds to get out of that paralysis is somehow weird. Okay? So don't blame yourselves. They're attacking you. You're the victim. I had another dream one time in another hotel where they, again, created the exact same image of the room, the way that I was actually sleeping in. The bed is here. The door is just a little bit away from me. Okay, they created a dream that looks just like that. They created an image of me as a demon to make it seem like it's actually me in the dream. And they created this situation where they created an image of a human being. They use magic to look like another human being, to make it seem like the people in the hotel, the other guests or customers were actually entering my room, the hotel room. Okay, and then they entered, and they try to attack you. They try to attack that character that they made to look like me in the dream. That's what I'm saying. That's not real. Just like if you see an image that looks like you falling off a cliff, exactly, none of you would ever say that's real. None of you would ever say that person falling off the cliff was actually you. Why are you guys so confused with paralysis? It's the same thing. It's fake. Okay, that's not you. They're just creating the dream in a way that the room that you're in, the bed that you're sleeping in, or the couch, exactly the way you're in it, exactly the way you're laying down, they're going to create a dream that looks exactly like that. And therefore, exactly to make you think that it's actually you. You get me? They're not going to create an image that looks like you in a hotel when you're actually in your house. You get me? Because they want you to think it's real. They want you to think it actually visited you and raped you. It actually wants you to think that way. Okay, so in order to make you think that way, it has to create the dream to look exactly the way that you're laying down in that bed that you're in. You get me? The human beings obviously see that in other situations. They see situations where the character in the dream looks like them, and it's also being attacked by a bear or being attacked by something that looks like a human. And my goodness, I don't even probably remember it, but it happened one time in 2016. Since I told you guys that God put me in an evil family that are all demonically possessed, they have narcissistic personality disorder, psychopathic, etc. All those weird, highly extreme mental ill, what people label extreme mental illness. I had a dream in 2016 when I was about to disown them and cut them off, because demons can tell, right? You're about to get rid of this family that's evil. They attack you, obviously. I've never had dreams before that. So I had huge spiritual warfare at that time, where I had a dream where the demons took a body to look like me. It's not me, obviously. And it is acting like me in the dream. And the family members, they created a dream to look like them. You get me? And then they entered my room. They created in the dream, they created an image to look like it's actually my room. You get me? To make it seem like it's real. I can't believe I don't even remember this. And then they're trying to make you think that my family was actually attacking you. You get me? That you're actually sleeping in your room and they entered the room and they tried to attack you. I think they had knives or something. It was so funny. But they didn't obviously, my subconscious fought with that stuff. It didn't actually manifest in anything. I swear to God, I just remember it as I was recording this. I swear I didn't even remember this. I thought I was having this sleep, weird, filthy nightmares recently, but it actually started in 2016 because that's when, I would say 2015 is when I started to have demonic spirits possess human beings and start to actually approach me. You know what I mean? Like face to face. They would come up to me and actually harass you and talk to you. It's demons. It's not human, okay? It started in 2015. Why? Because I was about to literally accomplish my dreams. I was about to start my businesses and graduate and go up and whatever I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to leave the country. I was just about to start on my sort of journey. You get me? And it would break the generational curse in that family. You get me? This person that got put in that family would have a new path. They would have, wealth. They would have a healthy marriage. They would have, you get me? And that entire family is filled with poverty and evil children and possessed children and they're possessed. You get me? There's this horrible, tragic pattern. Okay, but you're the person who's the opposite. They don't want you to succeed, therefore, because you're going to break that curse. What that then does is they start losing the power they have over that family, the bloodline. My children will be free. They're never going to have demons follow them around. You see what I mean? They don't want, therefore, to lose that power. So they have to harass me and sabotage everything I do. And that's why they go after my finances first. Okay? As well as relationships. Okay? They'll try to prevent you from getting married, etc. Because those are the two areas that they sabotage usually in a family. Okay? So, exactly. Any situation I'm in where demons are physically using those humans, let's say at a workplace, I will start having dreams of demons acting like those coworkers. You get me? They'll create a dream where you're seeing characters that look like your coworkers because they want you to think it's real, okay? And the demons, right, who are using magic to create fake images of those people I see in real life, they want you to actually think those people are harassing you, attacking you, arguing with you, talking with you in the dream. It's not real, okay? So I think human beings struggle with it when humans are interacting, fighting, harming each other or harming one another in the dreams. While you guys don't usually struggle to call it fake, if you're falling off a cliff or a bear ate you, you're gonna be like, that was fake. Okay, but when it's usually interactions or harm or paralysis, you think, oh my God, did that happen to me in some other spiritual world? Or, nothing happened, it's fake, okay? God will never let something eat you or rape you or molest you or harm you in some other universe. That's disgusting. God is pure, okay? You're always going to have the power and the right to protect yourself if something was going to happen. You're going to be awake. It's a dream. They're using magic, okay? So as a possessed person, you're going to have that problem. Constant dreams. Okay, but why is someone like me who's close to God, why am I having those filthy dreams? You see? Because you're having it because you're possessed. Why am I having it? Because I'm under spiritual attack. Because I came from a family that is possessed. You see? Their demons think they have the right to torture me. They think they have the right to sabotage my life, ruin my life. You get me? So it happens to people who are good, people who are not possessed. You're also going to have these types of dreams. Therefore, don't feel victimized by it. They have the power to harass everyone with dreams. It's just that the possessed human, because he got possessed because they're evil, usually perverted, your dreams are going to be perverted. You get me? Your dreams are going to be filthy. They're going to be about rape and weird stuff like homosexuality. They're going to create dreams like that for you because they need you to do that in real life. They need you to agree with that. Well, for me, it's just going to be about something trying to, harass you, something trying to interact with you, something trying to get you to eat something in the dream because that's witchcraft, something trying to get you to do things in the dream. You get me? Like just interactions and stuff. Because in real life, that's what they want to do. These demons want to interact with me. These demons want to enter my life. These demons want to send me a man that's possessed to marry you. You see what I mean? Because in real life, that's what they want too. Okay? They can't get that. But an evil human, they already have access to them. So they're going to send them nightmares or dreams about the horrible things they want them to do. Kill someone, rape someone, get themselves raped through homosexual stuff or incest or bestiality. As well as harming others like bestiality or pedophilia, you see? For you, it's going to go down that path. For good people, for people who are not possessed, the dream is trying to get some sort of agreement, some sort of acceptance, with them to think that basically people are interacting with them in the dream, okay? They're going to send you dreams where someone who's a good person, for example, that you're friends with maybe in real life, they're going to make it seem like you were remembering them or missing them because they'll show you dreams about them a lot. You get me? They're going to make you think it's just your subconscious that dreamed about them because you missed them in real life. No! Anytime you see humans in a dream, it's magic. It's demons. And that character is actually the demon. It's not your subconscious mind creating that. Otherwise, we would be God. We can create ourselves, okay? It's magic. No? So, okay. You're going to have the other symptom of misplacing things. Because obviously you're human. You put something here like your phone. Okay, the demon possessed you. You'll take it away, put it somewhere else. When it gets out and you come back, you're going to be like, what in the world? Where was it? Like that. That's why you're going to misplace things. As I said earlier, drugs, addictions, uncontrollable anger. Okay, this huge anger will just come over you. And again, you'll feel it in your chest usually. Because when I see these possessed human beings, God has actually been showing me where their energy is. Where the demon is, because they can be in certain places of the body, okay? It's usually their heart. It's usually their chest or their stomach. They like to stay in the stomach area or the heart. Okay, so since that's where the demon is, if someone acts out angry, uncontrollable anger, etc., for no reason, the evil type of anger that can, lead to violence. Exactly. If you are someone who can see spiritual things, you're going to see it's their heart or stomach. There's, the energy is there, and they can feel that place burning with sort of like pain, or the rage is coming over them there, okay? So basically, demons, the way they're possessing you, even sometimes just oppressing your mind, they're just harassing your mind a lot, it's emotions, okay? Evil is an emotion. It's a desire, a feeling of wanting to do bad things to others, to God's creation overall. Okay, what is that? A feeling, right? Okay, so that feeling is therefore that's what demons are going to try to project to you all the time in order to make you evil or sin. Just bad emotions. Evil emotions, emotional impulses, okay? So you're constantly seeing yourself having all these strong emotional responses come out of you. Someone tells you there's something good about themselves. Maybe they want to get married. Maybe they have someone they love. And that's an area you lack in. Okay, they're going to see this huge envy come over you. You see? Your envy is fine. But it's too big. It's too strong, okay? Because it's using magic to project, or witchcraft, to project that huge envy to you. So demons, in order to actually project evil emotions to you, exactly, they're not just whispering to your mind. That's not logical. A thought can't just create that kind of emotion. They're using magic. They're using witchcraft to actually project those strong, bad emotions to you, okay? They're doing witchcraft to you. That's why people who are going towards perversion like homosexuality, witchcraft is being done to you, the demon that's possessing you, as well as the human beings around you who are possessed. Their demons are doing witchcraft to you, as well as if you've ever been molested or raped, those ones did witchcraft to you. So much witchcraft is being done to you. And all witchcraft is trying to do is change your mind, okay? By projecting very strong, horrible emotions to you. It's not real emotions because only God can create an emotion. They're projecting it to you. You see what I mean? They're projecting it by sending you these thoughts. But they're so strong because they have the witchcraft. Witchcraft is like something supernatural they do to just make it bigger. And now it's going to feel like an emotion. Okay? So they'll project a strong, weird response or sort of like thought to your mind where they're telling you to actually do homosexual conduct. You see what I mean? Okay, that's witchcraft. Because when the demon is just telling you to do something, it's like a thought. But when it feels like an impulse, right? When it feels like an emotion, since they're not God, they can't create an emotion. They use witchcraft to project that to you. It's just a thought. It's just that the thought can lead to your body being attacked, your heart being attacked. For me, when they do witchcraft to harass me, when they oppress me, I get this huge sort of anxiety in my stomach. Like, you know, when your stomach goes, when it moves basically due to like anxiety or fear, right? You get me? So for people that they're not possessing, they're gonna project emotions like anxiety to them usually. Just for no reason. You're just walking, you're just minding your business. Maybe you get an email. They're projecting a thought to you first. Oh no, this bad thing is what this email is about. And my stomach will go, chook, you know? It'll just move. Like the anxiety attacks me. I didn't feel anxious. You get me? The thought somehow led to that, you know, anxiety sort of response, okay, being projected to me. I didn't actually respond with anxiety. You see what I mean? There's times that you actually get anxious because you had a bad thought, and there's times that the anxiety is actually projected to you. It's not even yours, okay? The other symptom is you just want to be alone. You want to be isolated a lot. Yeah, you'll go and constantly want to go to places that seem social, like clubs or bars. But there you go. Those are just bad things. If you ever want to go out and be around human beings, it's only to do those bad things that God would not like. Okay, but other than that, you want to be alone. You just want to be isolated. Do you know why? Because the demon needs you to be alone so it can then work on your mind. Okay? You're like this sort of puppet to them, okay? They're pulling their fingers like this up and down, and they're tilting your head left and right, and you get me, like that. They're treating you like that. So if you're around people all the time, if you're always busy with something productive, can they really, really work on your mind? Get you to agree to bad things? Can you? No, right? Because your mind has to be sort of undistracted in order for them to tell you what to do, in order for them to tell you to feel this way about this gender, that group, that child, that person, in order for them to tell you to go rape someone, go kill someone. They need you to be alone with them, okay? Then, once you've agreed to that, they don't have to, do that anymore. You're already someone who could do those horrible things. Now, when you are around human beings, you actually, because obviously we have strong and weak human beings, when you're around someone who you actually could kill or rape or whatever, now the thought is going to come. Now the demon is going to be like, okay, go and harm this child, go and harm this male, go and harm this female. You get me? Now you're going to get the sort of suggestion to do the bad thing that it was already trying to get you agreement to think you should do. It was trying to get you to like it. It was trying to get you to agree to that horrible thing. Once you've already, become so filthy that you agreed with that stuff, now you're ready. All it needs to do is find you a victim. It finds you someone that is actually weak, that can actually be raped or molested or whatever. It'll find you that human. They possess them a lot anyway. Usually those humans are possessed already. It'll just bring them. These evil spirits have power to, maneuver situations. They might say horrible thoughts to this human, telling them to go to that route instead of this route. They usually drive this way or usually go this way. They might bring a lot of possessed human beings because demons have the power to gang stalk someone or follow someone using possessed humans. Okay, so it's easy for them to make you go somewhere you don't want to go. It's easy for them to bring you someone to harm once you've already agreed to harm a human. You get me? Because they can just possess human beings to somehow block the road and this person actually goes in a different direction. Or maybe they're possessed, they bring you that one, and this human now, they can tell him what to do. They can tell him to go this way. They can tell him to actually agree with you if you say hello to them. This human is not going to have his natural human gut that you're harmful to them. You get me? Because the demon is controlling them. And obviously, if they're possessing them, they're evil too. So now they don't have that self-honor anyway. They're not going to have a problem with you. They can feel that you're evil, but they don't care. You get me? Because they're evil too. Okay, so then they're going to project that to you. You know, they're going to project to that human to get along with you, to talk to you, right? You're a stranger, you're talking to them maybe you're a stranger. And this human that's possessed, the demon is the one using their body to greet you back. You get me? They're going to just have a conversation with you, but they're possessed. It's not that person. And this now, they'll agree with you to go somewhere and you'll harm them, you'll rape them, you'll kill them, etc. You see, they set both of you up for a situation for that to happen. Using that basic power that they're already possessing a lot of humans, they think, why not use them? To put them in an environment with humans who could harm them. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes the people obviously not possessed, they'll try to just, bring you to that place to try to do evil to them. Okay? And it's up to that person to fight. But you've already agreed to it. So if you're this human I'm describing, stop isolating yourself. Disagree with evil in your mind and in your heart. Stop these horrible things like drugs and alcohol and smoking. Stop hurting your body. Stop agreeing with perversions, because then you're not going to be capable of rape and molestation, because you don't have control over that. Do you understand what I'm telling you? As long as you think perversion is okay, as long as you think sexism is okay, as long as you think homosexuality and bestiality and all that filthy stuff is okay, you're going to go do it. Do I have to explain that to you? You're going to obviously get a thought from the demon telling you to go do that stuff, and one day you're the pedophile who raped a child, and now you're in prison. It's no longer someone in the news, it's you now. Because you think you just have to disagree with raping a child. No, disagree with perversion altogether. Disagree with fooling around in clubs and bars too, with the opposite gender that you think is normal in nature. That's perversion too. You're fooling around. You're not in love with one person. It's not a committed relationship. You're fooling around. You're selling your body. As long as you can sell your body, you think other people selling their body is okay. You're going to go to prostitutes. Okay, and at some point, the demon is going to tell you to rape them. At some point, it's going to tell you to rape a child instead, off the street. You get me? This is what evil is. You don't get to choose where you stop. It will get worse. You need to stop the root cause. Okay, anyways. There was someone in the past that actually was a coworker, and I remember they had the scowl on their face. Like they look angry, but there's nothing there that they're angry at. Maybe they're obviously working. They're looking at the computer. They just look pissed, okay? That's sometimes a demon, okay? That's the human being influenced by the demon. And these people obviously are humans with drugs and alcohol and those types of, life choices. So that's what's going to happen. People will see that in you if they really want to know you're possessed. Because you get me? It doesn't look like just someone who's in a bad mood, okay? It looks weird. It looks like you're actually talking or looking at something in front of you, like you're just scowling at that. You get me? You're not going to have the sort of quality that a human would have where they're conscious of their surroundings, where they would hide such an emotion. No, you're just going to make that face. You're just going to do sort of weird behaviors. You're just going to stare at people, sometimes pervertedly. And exactly, you're not going to have that quality when others are looking at you and thinking, what the hell's wrong with them? You're not going to have that quality to notice that they're looking at you and judging you for your bad behavior. You get me? Because the demon is doing that using your body. Obviously, it doesn't care what people think. because the demon is not here, right? It's not gonna feel the pressure of being judged. It's just using your face. So that's sometimes what causes people to stare at others. That's why, there you go. You see, everything's correlated or connected. That's why perverts stare and watch people, and when people look back at them, they don't look away, or they make a long face, or they don't care that they're in a public place like a bus or a library. You get me? They don't care. Because there's times that they're the ones obviously staring. The demon is telling them what to do. That's when they're probably going to have a little bit of the consciousness to look away for fear of someone, confronting them. Okay. Right? What if police are there? They might get scared. Okay, but when the demon is using their face to do that, or when the demon is actually, the one talking to them this time, but at a sort of higher level, where this human has less consciousness, okay, they're not going to look away. You see what I mean? They're not going to have that quality of fear. Someone over there could beat them up, but they're not going to have that sort of quality of fear, okay? They're going to just keep staring. So some people, that's why they get pushed to become even more aggressive. You see what I mean? They might become more aggressive in order to stop this perverted stare. And that's what demons want. There's obviously a better way to handle that. Don't waste your energy trying to beat that thing up. You're just going to go to jail. So obviously, since you got possessed because you have a bad heart, evil heart, you're going to see yourself constantly conducting yourself from a place of trying to harass others, hurt others, lie about others. If you're at a job, you want to sabotage their job, you want to bully. You see someone walking the street, you just want to harass them. You get me? You're just going to be a harasser, a bully. In situations where you're like just around human beings overall, you can always try to invade their personal space. That's the demon try to use your body to do witchcraft to others, to try to touch them, because if it touches people, sometimes it's actually doing witchcraft to them that way. Or it's just, simply the demon wanting to touch others because obviously it's perverted. I deal with that a lot. When the demon comes out of the human being, right, that I was talking to, all of a sudden they try to invade my personal space. They try to touch you. You get me? Every day. It's called crowding. It's like a behavior demons do where they use a lot of people. If I'm in a line, they'll use literally 30 human beings to try to touch me. So I'm walking, right? They'll come from the left, they'll come from the right, they'll come from the back, they'll come from the front. I dodge that. The same thing happens until they hope you get exhausted and they bump into you. But it's all covert. They're going to act like it's just a busy place. Because if a demon possessed a human to try to touch me, they know I'm going to beat them up. They know that that's too dangerous for them and they're scared. So what they do is they use a mob. They come to every place I go as a mob. They bring a lot of people there. And now all of them are trying to assault you. You get me? All those humans are possessed. They're knocked out. The demon is trying to use their body to invade my personal space. They hope they can get away with it. You get me? Because they're using a lot of human beings. And none of them are human. So if you actually look back and you're like, hey, you're invading, you don't get me? If you say something like, move away from me, they're not going to react like a human does. Like when I was younger. The demons would be so scared, they'd be physically shaking, they'd move away. But when they have a lot of possessed human beings, aka a lot of demons, okay, then they like to, again, they're not unafraid, they're just acting. They like to act like they're not scared of me when I confront someone who tried to just get in my space. Because there you go, they want to make me so angry, they want to push me to kill someone. Because they know I have the strength to do that. They want me to kill people. That's what I'm saying. Demons will use you to try to push others to violence, okay? By using you to harass them in a way that would really irritate someone and it's just too much. They have to hit you, okay? Humans, when they say something rude or bad or whatever, you say something back, they leave you alone, right? Okay, but when the demon is possessing them, the demon is not scared of being hit because it can just leave your body. It's not going to feel the punch or whatever. You're going to get the punch, okay? And you don't even know you're knocked out or whatever. You agreed to do evil, obviously, but you know what I mean? It's using you. You're not really conscious. You're in a dangerous situation sometimes. So that's what I have to deal with a lot. The possessed humans, they're used to constantly invade others' personal space, constantly used to try to touch people pervertedly. What does that mean? That's you one time. You see, one day you're going to be possessed. And you're going to invade someone's personal space and you're going to be like, I don't remember agreeing to that. It used you, okay? This is what I'm saying. At some point, it doesn't even need your permission. because the initial agreement was already made with you that you're perverted. Okay? It doesn't have to necessarily keep getting your permission. This specific human, that to invade their personal space using your body. It's possible that it just can't do that. But I don't really believe that. I think they have to get your permission all the time to do these behaviors because otherwise God would be unjust to you. I'm just saying you did agree with it. You just may not have the full details sometimes of the situation because you're unconscious a little bit. So another thing is, I think I already said this before, but your body will start to look different. Your physical facial features, usually the face, will start to look like a beast or animal. I've actually seen that. A lot of these humans who are possessed, the demons used to follow me everywhere I go, stalk me. It's just covert. The stalking is covert. They're gonna act like they're walking around all day at a park if I go to the park. They're gonna act like, they're just going to the cafeteria if it's a workplace. You get me? They'll come to everywhere I go. They're actually demons possessing that individual, physically coming to my environment using a mop of that human, but they're gonna act like they're just carrying out normal behaviors. Why? Psychological torture. You know they're stalking you, but there's no sort of evidence in that sense. They want to torture you like that. They hope you go to law enforcement and tell them and they call you crazy. But obviously for me, I can prove it. Because the moment you just ignore that and just treat it like they're actually just walking, you ignore it, right? That's what you're supposed to do. The demons can't help it. They didn't get what they want. They didn't torture you psychologically. They didn't make you constantly follow them and be scared of them and, oh no, they're following me. You ignored it, right? Okay, they didn't get what they want. They're going to manifest. They're going to approach me. They're going to act threatening. They're going to act crazy. They're going to say criminal things. See, I can prove it then for that reason. For me, it's so easy to prove that they're not human, that they're demon and they're following me because they can't control it. At some point, all those human beings will harass me directly. They'll actually do direct behavior that if someone, like a law enforcement saw them, they'd arrest them right away. When they first started to manifest, it was in 2015, they would possess these two college males. They were actually Somali. I was in Minnesota. I was going to the school called Normandale Community College. It was an excellent school, but demons wanted to use my ethnicity first. They really wanted you to think your ethnicity was harassing you. You get me? And everyone else was like normal. Obviously, there's evil humans in every ethnicity. I just mean they wanted to make it seem like, it was more like a ethnic thing. So they'd possess the perverted males who are Somali, and they would constantly, they're not doing anything, but they're projecting so much perversion to you. You know when a perverted human is staring at you and you can feel it? Like that. So they're projecting the energy to me, and I actually know it's from a perversion type of place versus, let's say, they're judging your shoes or they think you're ugly no, you know what the intent is behind that stare. You get me? So they project so much perversion out of those males, and I know exactly who they are. They're not staring at me pervertedly. That's fake. They can't direct perversion at me. They're demons. It's fake. They want me to think that that's actually what those humans are doing. They want to confuse me, okay? They don't want me to know. And God obviously gave demons this power to do that, to teach me the things I know about them today. That's why God made them harass me all my life. So he would teach me this stuff about the spiritual world, and I would use that to then help people. I'm not actually being persecuted by demons. You get me? It's just to teach me things. But God thought to teach me would be to put me in the experience, okay? So, but those humans don't know it's me. They don't know anything about me. The demons don't know anything. Everyone's just being controlled, and God is the one putting me in these situations. It's not real. So they started to manifest in my life, these demonic spirits. When I was younger, they were always there, but they were in the Muslim females that I was around in the Islamic schools. They would act like a fake friend. They don't want you to know it's a demon. The same type of personality in a female would always approach me, trying to act like a friend, trying to act like they want to learn from you. Because I was, highly educated in the religion, I could just teach people about it. So they would always bring me these females who act like they want to be a student. They want to learn. Those are demons, okay? It was so creepy. Okay, when I started to move away from those types of human beings, because, okay, fine, I didn't know they were demons, but I still know who they are, the humans. I knew they were weird and evil. That's a quality I'll always have. I'll know what type of human you are. I obviously, would get them away from myself. And then the demons obviously won't leave you alone. They're following you. So they would then start to use strangers. You get me? Because I removed the humans that would not necessarily be a stranger, that they were using, that they thought, oh, we can just be in your life. They thought they could just be in your life and mix with you, and you'll never know they're actually filthy demons talking to you and not actually a person. And that those humans are obviously perverted. They couldn't go that way. They couldn't go the covert way, okay? I cut them off. I got myself away from those, Islamic mosques because it was just so much evil humans there. And that's usually where the bad humans like to go the most. If you go to a school, if you go to a church, if you go to a job, wherever you go, there's going to be usually good or bad. But religious places, oh my God, 99.9 are demonically possessed. They just take over the churches and the mosques, okay? Because demons have to do that. That's the place of God. That's the place they want to attack the most. Okay, and there's always going to be that few little bit of righteous, good people who go to those religious places and they're going to freak out and leave. At some point, they're just going to feel uncomfortable and leave. They might not see that these are evil human beings at first. So oh my God. How could Allah give it the power to do that? SubhanAllah. Inshallah. Just be careful in the future. Doesn't matter if I give them that power. I can protect myself. So basically, I don't want to really talk about the things I saw because I actually want to record that in another audio. But basically, when the demons started to actually manifest, they are no longer acting covert, acting like your coworker, your friend, your classmate, but they're actually trying to, harass you or maybe hope that you actually know it's a demon. They would usually use males. Um, exactly, to actually make you think that males are harassing you, okay? They wanted you to think that they're trying to actually be violent to you, etc. It was all just confusion that they wanted to project to you. So they would come out possessing males who are perverted. And that's the thing. You guys might be like, why do I say perverted so much? Because that's what I see. Anytime I see someone who's possessed, that's the first quality they have. They're perverted. But see, your definition of perverted is someone who goes around, being a predator. A perverted is just perverted, okay? You harass people that way. You see humans that way. You want to touch their body. You invade their personal space. If you hear someone got raped or molested, you don't feel anything. You get me? That's what perverted is. You're just in your heart. You're perverted. You don't need to go harm someone first. Okay. So obviously in society we have a lot of perverted human beings. So that's why all the possessed ones are all gonna have that quality first, and then other qualities obviously. But perverted is their first quality, and that's why they got possessed. Um. So yeah, they would possess males in my college, come up to me, use them, and they actually wanted to make me think those males were actually approaching you to be sort of threatening. But first they would just stare. But there was this huge emotion of fear that they would send to me. Not fear of the males, but fear of what's going on. You get me? Because you don't understand what's going on. I've never seen that my whole life, That's not logical. You didn't see it every now and then, right? All of a sudden it just happens in 2015. That's weird. And it's so funny because that's the time that I was planning to cut off that evil family. So the demons in that family, you get me, were the ones thinking, oh, she's going to cut us off from being around her because she's going to cut off the humans that we're using to be around her, this filthy family. Therefore, we got to use others. You get me? They had to use strangers to approach me. So all of a sudden, I started to get harassed by strangers. While before, they would act covert, act like a fake friend. Because I started to cut that off. I started to see that these are weird, evil human beings trying to act like a classmate who has a question, or they would always act like they need my help or whatever. And be careful with humans who approach you acting like they need help or they want to use your phone, because obviously a lot of them are criminals, okay? Be discerning. I'll talk about that in another recording. So here are the other signs. I'll just say it really fast. The physical symptoms or signs are swollen, darkened eyes, paleness, An extreme behavior of recklessness or rebelliousness. You disappear for large periods of time. You just get away from your friends, your family. Again, they need to isolate you. You go to bad places. You just go somewhere for a long time. Which is why criminals all have that quality. They just go places no one knows where they are, and usually someone was killed in that time. Tendency to injure yourself. You're going to have sort of a malnourished body. Your health is just going to be bad. Um, Again, some humans, they look like they're taking care of themselves. Like, the humans who have, for example, the females, the weird eyelashes, so much makeup. Again, if they remove that makeup, they remove those fake eyelashes, right? They show you what their actual body looks like. You're going to see a lot of weird stuff that shows you they're not healthy. It's just right in a YouTube video, or when someone has clothes on and makeup on, all that, they can obviously look healthy usually, okay? You don't know what's happening inside. Animalistic behavior, just strange, weird behavior that's not human. An elevated sort of strength. So I saw this video of a female that had been diagnosed with schizophrenia. Two males could not physically push her out of a door that she was trying to enter. So 2, 3, 4, 5 human beings cannot sometimes push this human away from being reactive. Again, if they're trying to harm someone, that's not when they're going to have huge strength, because that would be God obviously being unfair to the victim. Then that's just between the two of them. You can defend yourself, obviously, no matter what your gender is or your age is. No, we're talking about situations where they're having an episode. They're acting reactive, okay? If people try to stop them, they might have a little bit of strength. You get me? That's not fit for one person. So yeah, that's sometimes the demon manifesting. That's why when people do exorcism or deliverance, they use a group to, control the one that the scripture is being read on, that is being told, to have the demon come out of them. They're gonna have a lot of people hang around you to stop you, because you're gonna have that demon come out of you and try to hit people, assault people, pick up objects. It's gonna be very violent. The spirit. I wish God didn't give it that power, but that's what they do. You're gonna have these sort of pupils that look really dark, really creepy, really scary. Like, take a photo of yourself and just look at yourself in the picture. Your pupils look really dark, really creepy if you have dark pupils. Otherwise, for others, like let's say blue eyes, you're gonna have like snake-like eyes. Your eyes are gonna look like an animal is inside of it. You get me? You're gonna have inhuman sounds come out of you. The people who are possessed, demons use them to constantly make noises, constantly tapping things, constantly, just annoying noises. Sometimes filthy, perverted noises. They go to the bathroom. When I go to the bathroom, if it's in a public place, they follow me everywhere, and they're gonna make the females make filthy, perverted noises, sounds, etc. You get me? If it's the males, they'll do that maybe if they're outside and you're passing by. They don't care if other people hear that. You get me? Because everyone there is possessed. I'm the only normal person there. They don't care. But in environments in the past where I was around sort of good people and sort of possessed humans, okay, it was less. But now God only surrounds me with humans who are possessed. Because I'm going through that sort of spiritual situation where God is putting me in the situation to teach me this stuff. Therefore, He won't let me actually see a person who's not possessed. You guys might be like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I don't actually have God's permission in this time in my life to ever be around normal people. He's surrounding me with these demons everywhere I go. They just have the power to gang stalk me, basically. Follow me with thousands of humans wherever I go. Everywhere I go, it's them. But see, what does that mean? That means the majority of humans are possessed, right? If the neighborhood and everywhere I go, just, you get me? They're not necessarily always bringing new people to the place. It's just the people who are already there. Okay, but that means all these humans are possessed. You see what I mean? They just have the power to manifest and use them. While just 4 years ago, exactly, they wouldn't manifest. They'd mind their business. Only once in a while would they approach me at jobs and try to harass you directly. So I'll end it here. Basically, you know what to do. Change your evil heart. Change your evil mind. Disagree with envy and hatred, arrogance, sexism, perversion, all these other horrible things you could ever think of. Just disagree with these things. And then stop the drugs, alcohol, all that stuff. You need to repent. You need to prostrate to God Almighty. I would advise you to just prostrate to the ground. Or you can just put your hands up, repent. Okay, you have to repent for all the bad things you did, as well as the things that we religious people call a sin, but you don't agree with technically, like smoking or drugs. You need to repent for all these bad things, okay? Abortion is not a sin, okay? Christianity gets that wrong because the Bible obviously is corrupted. There's times that it's not healthy to do so, and there's times that it's required to do so, obviously, because obviously human beings get raped. But we're talking about the other group who had normal sex. Obviously, they need times that they need to do that for their health or because they don't want to have kids. Okay, you can't force anyone to have kids. That's obviously you thinking you have some sort of godly authority over their body. God doesn't give you the authority to do what you want with their body or to control them or to force them into pregnancy. You can't do that. Okay, but the scripture is corrupted to be what? Sexist. Okay, so it's going to act like you can tell a female what to do with her body, which is what a pervert is doing, harming the body as if it's an object. Okay, so saying she can't do abortion obviously comes from the perverted human, okay? So obviously everything humans call a sin is not really a sin. I'm talking about things that are actually bad and harmful, and you know that in your conscience, okay? As well as just being evil and hateful overall and perversion, all that stuff. You need to repent and give up all these things. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's possessing you, you still have a choice to repent and be a good person. You just need to choose that. You just might think if you do that, it doesn't make a difference. It does. It possessed you because you don't have that good feeling, that good heart. Once you develop that, now it loses the power to use you, okay? It's just there. Then when you repent, you seek forgiveness from people you've harassed or harmed or whatever. You go and get yourself punished if you need to. Okay? Maybe you molested someone and no one knows. Go put yourself into prison now, okay? Okay, get yourself punished for what you need to get punished for. And then, okay, you need to get someone who is healthy, someone who's not gonna put more demons in you or what. I'm sorry, my words get ruined all the time. Someone who's not gonna put more witchcraft on you. You know, someone who's not gonna obviously act like a religious figure, but they're actually evil and possess themselves. You need to find someone. Ask God Almighty to guide you. Someone who can do the deliverance for you, who can do exorcism, who can get those demons out of your body. That's the last step. You get the demons out of your body. First, change yourself and repent, okay? Then you'll have the freedom to use your body the way you want to some degree, and you'll go out and find people and you'll get that evil stuff out of you. Okay, there's obviously more signs of demonic possession that you can see in yourself. But lastly, I'll just end it with is simply when people call you to God and good, you say no. Okay? You know what I mean? You're obviously the one saying no, but it's too much. You know? It's just way more than you would ever say. You would probably agree at some point, but you get me? You might agree to it. This person gave you some sort of good information about God or morality. You agree until you're starting to like it. Okay, but then all of a sudden anger comes out of you, rage comes out of you, you cuss them out, you hurt them, they leave you, okay? That's because the demon took control over you and did that behavior, and now you lost your chance. You get me? To get that person's help. But see, God is not unjust. He didn't just let something take over you and make you, come on, then it would have controlled you when you were agreeing to listen to the person, right? Okay, what happened was it came to your mind. It exactly resurfaced emotions that you were starting to lose. Because when you were listening to these people who are calling you to God or good, you were starting to develop good emotions like love and compassion and respect and humility and honor. The demon came to you and projected the opposite to you. Hatred, envy, harming others, harming yourself, filthy stuff like perversion. You get me? He started to project hatred and envy to you. It just leads to those things like perversion. Those two bad emotions, arrogance, anger, all those emotions, you started to agree with it. So sometimes, if the demon is using something else against you, not necessarily just hatred, but is using situations where you obviously desire something or you want something but you can't get it, okay, it's going to project entitlement to you. And now you don't want to listen to people. You see what I mean? Because you think that situation that hurt you should not have hurt you. That situation that hurt you, you think it should be resolved and you should get what you want in order to come back to God. That's evil. I don't mean something harmful that hurt you. I mean situations that are just life, okay? You don't get what you want. I see a lot of the human beings who are possessed got rejected from someone romantic and then they went down that perverted path or weird path, and they just did other things like drugs and alcohol, and then they got possessed. You get me? That's why they go to clubs and bars and sell themselves. That's actually what they're doing. They're trying to hurt themselves because someone rejected them romantically. Obviously, they didn't like that person. If you want to go around fooling around selling your stuff to others, but their version of liking someone is that weird, unhealthy one, okay? They have to get the person. They don't get it, they're gonna go harm themselves. You see what I mean? It's weird. 'Cause if you genuinely like someone from a healthy place, okay, then you're just gonna, be healthy and move on in a healthy place. It's that simple. Those who going around hurting themselves and going to others to forget them, that's someone who has learned through childhood not to deal with rejection and difficult things in life with logic and rationale and self-love. Okay, that's someone who learned to hurt himself, and that obviously comes from them being abused usually, or lacking some sort of parental figure that would guide them. They just have a lot of weird problems, okay, a lot of psychological problems that come from the childhood. But see, who cares? Good people also come from weird psychological families. I'm just saying, you just chose to be weird. You just chose to feel entitled to others and validated with others. And if they don't want you, you go crazy. Okay, you need to get rid of that quality. You need to be a loving person from your heart, sincerely. You need to have compassion for others, not feel entitled to anyone. Like people truly from your heart, from a good reason. They don't want to be with you, let them go. You see what I mean? You need to have that humility, that honor type of quality. You obviously wouldn't want someone being obsessed with you and hurting themselves because you don't want them. That's weird. You wouldn't even want that person anyway. You would think, oh, thank God. Thank God I rejected them. Okay, so why would you want to be that person and think people owe you sympathy? You're crazy to them too. You get me? So lose those weird qualities, okay? Be a healthy, humble, loving, good person. Then repent to your Lord and find people who can get those demons out of your body. Take care of yourselves.